Well, it's just one defeat in 15 league games now, but these draws are costing us so much. We're still stuck in the mid-table pack. We're not really that secure in our job. With the January window round the corner, we might need a bit of magic to save us. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 13 of Built in Bristol with me, Daniel. Unlucky for some and possibly for us today, as we just ruined a chance at 3 points at the end of the last match. We would have been a bit closer to that playoff push. As it is now, we're still 8 points away, and let's be honest, we're virtually as close to the bottom three. The threat of relegation has probably gone, but we're certainly not playoff contenders yet. If you're looking forward to seeing if we can get closer today, as we host Steve Cooper's Nottingham Forest, still in a job with them 14th in the Championship, and West Bromwich Albion away from home, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. Before we go and get into that though, we've had a disappointing youth intake and loads of results off camera. And it's been a bit of a mixed bag, to be honest. We started with a brilliant 2-0 win against league leaders Burnley. If only we could have done that in a playoff semi-final last year. Sam Surridge getting the open up before Chiquino off the bench with a second. If we could keep him fit, honestly, it would make such a difference. A 1-1 draw away at Millwall as we threw away 3 points in the 87th minute. Sam Surridge got our goal in that one. Then a 1-0 defeat at home to Preston to ruin a long unbeaten run. We dominated the game. We couldn't do anything with it. The goal we conceded against Millwall, the only shot on target we faced as well. They're the frustrations we've got. Surridge got both as we came back from 1 down to beat West Brom. A good performance, a good result. A 2-2 draw at Middlesbrough as Alex Scott equalised after Cal Naismith had scored a first half free kick. And then the annoying one against Sunderland last time out. Dominated the game. Chiquino scored in the first half as he came back from the start this time. But Ross Stewart in the 3rd minute of 2 added on managed to equalise for Sunderland. We just can't see those games out with an unfit squad. Now we're back to 3 games a week. We've of course got that build-up of fixtures over the festive period. We've got another League One banana skin in the form of Charlton away in the FA Cup 3rd round too. So lots of problems potentially on the horizon. At the moment, we're slap bang in the middle. We've gone back up to a C+, but depending on whether we draw or win a game, we're either C or C+. So still disappointed we're not in a top half. And if we don't win one of the next 2 games, we're going to fall away from it. So let's go and get into the first of them. We host Nottingham Forest in the Championship. 15th v 14th, 3 points between us. If we win it, we go above them on goal difference. And of course, in just a few days' time, Harry Darling comes in. We've got a bit more money to spend as well. We can add to the squad a little, but we've got to be in the mix. So for today, as Luton have gone top of the Championship, we got to face Forest, a relegated side, loads of money, loads of quality players, and hopefully we can find a performance. We have had a week off, and the aim is that we're going to get through these 2, then hopefully we can win at home to Blackpool, even if we have to rotate. But let's have a look at what squad we can put together, because generally we're playing very well in spite of injuries. Benarouz got injured in the last episode. This is the first appearance he can make since. We've also got the same with Ruffin in defence, who's back. Pring is back as well, so he will come in from the start. And the one to drop out will be, I'm not quite sure who yet. Let's go and have a look at who we can bring him in for. Naismith didn't have a great game. I'm tempted to drop him out anyway. He will be replaced. Badgertich hasn't been great, but I feel we need that physicality at the back. So I'm going to drop Naismith out entirely for this one. And this is the squad we're going to go for. Does Joe Williams come in as a more aggressive defensive midfielder? I'm not sure it's the right thing because these 3 are the best and they've been playing okay. So this is the 11 we've gone for. It's an improving Nathan Baxter in goal. We've got Tanner and Pring the fullbacks with Badgertich and Vandenberg, the 2 Liverpool loanees centre half. We've got Masengo and Balat the midfield 2 with Alex Scott ahead of them. And then Cornick and Chiquino off Surridge up front, who's just starting to drift away a bit in terms of form now. Basically, if he doesn't score, he has an awful game. And that's been the case the last 2. So into the game we go. It's a big one for us. Chiquino is almost match fit, which we haven't really had all season. I'm just hopeful he doesn't pick up another knock. Let's go and see if he can avoid it, if we can avoid defeat against Forest. Well, just the one change for them as well. They've had the week off. Ethan Horvath on the bench for them, the former Luton man. But Galini is their starting keeper. They've got Omar Richards in there. Nafils Mendy from Leicester. A few interesting signings and the front 3 that they'd probably still play in the Premier League now. At the time of recording, Brennan Johnson is still there. Let's go and get through the dressing room and see how we get on in this one. We're going to say this is a chance to prove a point. It's the only one that seems to get them motivated or inspired. Now let's hope we get a reaction on the pitch as we head into the first half. Well, we're going straight from the kickoff. Sam Surridge in his gloves gets it wide to Chiquino on the left. He goes back to Vandenberg, and these two, not played centre-half together all that often actually. The last few weeks where Naismith has had to cover on the left, probably been the first time, as Tanner releases Cornick over the top, ball in, cleared pretty well in the end. It's out as far as Adeja, who clears it downfield to Gibbs-White and Awani. This is going to be an open game, two quick sides on the counter, and I'm more worried about our defence than I am theirs, as Gibbs-White breaks free on the edge of the box. Good run, good save from Baxter. A hectic 40 seconds, a chance at both ends, but still 0-0 at the moment as Chiquino gets it again. Overlap from the wing-back Pring, who gets in behind. Great cross cleared away as far as Cornick. Into Scott, who finds Chiquino again. Then he's curled one just wide. He really is a class act, Chiquino. If we could guarantee his fitness, he would be a superstar. But at the moment, he's unreliable. And as a result, I'm not sure how long we persist with him. As we get through the first 15 minutes and return for a Bristol City corner, I am thinking for next year that Scott gets it back into Chiquino just over. I'm thinking if we do stay in the Championship and in a job that we'll probably go to the back three, try and get two up front, and maybe play with the more central players focused on, because it worked for us at someone like Woking in the stream save. It's the Luton tactic in real life. It's something I'd like to do if we can. Though we've got to stay in a job first with Pring. Down the left, crosses into Sam Surridge, off the post against his former club. Signed from here in the summer for what, £500,000. He's been a great signing in terms of his goal output. Not offered an awful lot in open play, and of course the way we play he's not going to. But the goals are crucial, and he's going to be going for the end of this one, just over the bar from Bulat's corner. Half an hour gone. Again, it's very much the same story as most games. We've had the better off it, but we don't have a consistent goal threat, and it's a real problem for us as we look to stay consistent. If Surridge doesn't score, we generally don't score. And if we don't score the first goal in a game, we generally don't win it. And that is very much a problem. 5 minutes to the break, a dominant performance, but again, nothing you can really say has been a clear-cut chance. So we get through the dressing room again, we encourage the lads, but no response. Surridge starting to hit a tough patch now, and that could be a very big problem for our season. Tommy Conway is on the bench, but he's the only option there. I have found a couple of strikers abroad who would be good to bring in, but I don't know whether we'll get work permits and as such. As Scott chips up to Surridge, Omar Richards covers well there. Galini with the big clearance downfield, and Tanner will head away. Masengo up, but doesn't win it. Vandenberg does. Surridge flicks on. Nobody there. He's isolated. That's why we want two up front. As Bajatic in defence. Made a meal of that. Gets it wide to Pringno under no pressure. And Pring can carry it forward to Chiquito. Two inside of him. Scott's one. Again, just dallies on the ball. He's been such a disappointment in this save. And it was kind of my last hope that if we went to a three in midfield and two up front, that maybe we'd see the best of him. But the truth is, he's probably going to be gone this summer because he won't sign a new deal unless we pay him 50 grand a week. And I can't justify that. He's been awful. So with just over an hour gone, we're going to make subs. I'm going to bring Benarous on the left-hand side because those traditional wingers have generally been better for the striker. And I'm also going to bring on Conway through the middle, and we know we've still got that aerial threat. In midfield, Bulat and Scott both struggling. I'm going to bring Joe Williams in for Alex Scott. Bulat will go further forward. Masengo and Williams switch sides. But I'm not sure that we've got any more to offer. Nothing else improves this team at the minute. But the 3 changes made, I hope for a better outcome. We're going to encourage the lads. At least if we're not clinging on to a lead, we've not got something to throw away this time. With 15 to go, there's no change again. And now it's Forrest in possession with a throw on the right. Ajada gets it in the middle to Gibbs-White. Big switch of play to Omar Richards. Space to run into as well. Mendy gets it wide to him. Takes on his man with ease. Gets towards the byline. Chance to cross. Bajatic does well. But it's not away yet. Tanner's got possession. Gives it to Cornick, who will have to come off in a minute. Big ball forward towards Conway. Doesn't win the header. And now we're back under pressure again. Considering we play fairly short football, we do give it away with long balls quite a lot. The lad's still not perfectly following our tactical game plan and not really on board with us as a manager. As Ajada gets it back to Danilo. Into Mendy. Big through ball to Gibbs-White. That's too good. Too easy. And again, a game we've dominated. Late on, we throw it away. We're going to take off Bulat and replace him with Mark Sykes. I'm also going to take off Cornick. And I'll probably have to go Matty James. It's not really the ideal option here. Maybe we can go McCrory, but no, I'm going to stick with James. We're going to put Sykes out on the right. Williams will have to go number 10. And then James and Masengo will be the midfield two. Not what we wanted at all. But 15 to go and we're a goal down. The cursor struck again as Masengo over the top to Conway. You can clearly see the difference here, can't you? Look at the expected goals. Ours is double again. We just don't have that ruthless streak. And this is a team where our midfielders are supposed to be the best players at the club. They should be the ones that are offering a goal threat. We should have that ruthless streak, but we don't. We lose 1-0 in a game we dominate. And again, we slip further away. And it's the same team talk again. We're on top. We've had all the chances. We've still ended up on a losing side or on a drawing side. Now we go to West Brom in 3 days' time. Half of these won't be fit. It's been the story of our season in a nutshell. So I'm glad in a way that nothing's changed. Well, fitness time and a question of who's going to be available really, isn't it? We go away to West Brom having slipped to 16th in the table and just 2 points away from 19th and probably a world of insecurity when it comes to our job. You can see we've slipped back down to C now as courtesy of that defeat. So let's go and get through to the team selection. How many of our 11 are fit? Not many of the defenders. Bajcetic really struggling. He needs a week off. We'll do that when the FA Cup comes around. But for now, we've just got to patch it together and we'll be back in a minute when we've done so. Well, I've had to stick with more of the team than I wanted to for a few reasons really. Ruffin and Benarous can only do 45 minutes. Sykes isn't recommended to play. Masengo's knackered. Bajcetic the same. So I've had to leave in Sepp Vandenberg and I'd probably have rested Buildup as well, but it is what it is. We have got Ruffin and Benarous on the bench. I've also put Taylor Moore there just so we can replace Vandenberg if need be. But this is the team we've gone for. The only changes from the start are Naismith in for Bajcetic, and then in midfield it's Williams for Masengo. I've had to stick with the rest as it is, and with Surridge not really in form at the minute, that is a bit of a concern. Let's go away to West Brom. Hope they're struggling more than us. I'm not sure that's going to be the case, but we can only hope, can't we? Well, one change for West Brom and Kiefer Moore dropping out and Daryl DK being on the bench is probably not a bad thing for us. We won at home to them last time by 2-1 and we dominated the game, but we did give away a few very good chances on the break, which they just didn't take. If on another day they'd taken those, it would have been another heartbreaking defeat. And on this occasion, away from home, we're going to need to be at our best, and we haven't often shown signs of that. It has been a season of frustration in very tight games, letting in frustrating goals. At times we're dominant, letting in easy goals down the wide areas, and just not having players fit enough to deal with the last 20 minutes of games. Not to mention not being clinical and giving away ridiculous penalties. It's all happening now. Bulat had already won the ball with the first challenge and then still tripped him up anyway. Jed Wallace takes the penalty, puts the keeper the wrong way, and it's 1-0 to West Brom. I've got a feeling we're going to get sacked this year. I'm starting to feel I can't turn the tide. And I'm going to do one of two things in the next few weeks. I know we've been on a long, good run, but it has been unbeaten rather than winning. We've been drawing a lot of games. Do I go all out in January for the style I want to adopt and go for the 5-3-2 or the 3-5-2? Or do I get better players for this tactic and just go all out in terms of budgets and that, knowing that we're going to get sacked anyway if we fail? I'm not sure which it's going to be yet, but one or the other will probably happen as AK brings it forward for West Brom to Furlong, and they're rampant here. This is one of those games where we might actually get dominated. Happened away at Middlesbrough, happened away at Peterborough in the last episode. It's happening a little bit here. 20 gone, we're lucky it's only 1. But again, it was a stupid goal we conceded. And just 3 or 4 minutes later, we're back with West Brom in possession again. The voice is on the way, but it's a big switch of play. And Alvaro Fernandez is flying down the left. He's got support as well. Gets to the byline, cuts it back. Chalaba's there. The first one is blocked. The second one finds Furlong. It's off the woodwork and Tanner luckily gets it off Diang for a goal kick. Could have gone anywhere, could have gone in, but we get away with that one. It stays 1-0. West Brom definitely the better side. And let's be honest, we've had no threat on their goal. So how can we expect to get a result? This is the sort of game we'd probably lose if the ball was on the other foot. But unfortunately, the other sides are a bit more clinical than us. We get to half time, it's going to be a very big team talk for us because there's tired players, there's pretty poor performers in there, and morale is on the floor. These boys do not take long to turn against the manager. I'm going to say I'm disappointed. A couple have reacted, but not all of them. Bulat has been struggling physically, so at this point, we've got a good team. Let's just get people on who are fit. Mehmeti will go further forward. Scott will come on in the deep line role. I'm going to take Chiquinho off for Benarus, traditional winger on attack. That was when we had our best spell of the season, when Benarus was fit and playing out there. Let's hope he can serve Surridge up front. But ultimately, the defence isn't good enough. And now, of course it is. He's been on a minute and a half. A minute and a half and he's got injured again. I tell you what, whoever our sports scientist, physio, whatever from the medical team that said he can do 45 minutes, they should be sacked immediately. Because he's managed a minute and a half and got injured again. Tommy Conway's on, but it's back to the old tactic now. The corner comes in, Conway gets on the end of it, and he does clear it downfield. Cornick will get there. Can we grab one on the break? There's two making a run down the middle. Cornick running down a blind alley though. He has got past his man. Delivers a great cross. Conway's in. Maybe it was meant to happen. What a turn up that is. Conway on the break nicks one. He started the move on the edge of the box. Cornick does brilliantly. And Conway arrives at the back post to do exactly the same and fire it in for 1-1. Completely against the run of play. But I'd take a draw out of this one. I'm not going to lie to you. Been frustrated by a lot of draws this season. This one would be spectacular. I'm going to get Ross McCrory on for George Tanner, who's struggling a bit and on a yellow. I'm also going to take off. It's going to be Alex Scott again. He's been poor. Matty James will come on. And that's the 5 changes because we had to waste one with Benarus. 20 minutes to go. Can we get on top? It doesn't look like it. But it has quietened down on the West Brom front as well. So maybe we're not going to come under too much pressure. But how am I saying that? We've conceded so many late goals this year. I've got to be a bit more realistic. As Butland clears downfield for the host. The Baggies trying to get the goal. And Naismith, no, not like that. Straight to Kiefer Moore. It's a good save, Baxter. There's the evidence of why Harry Darling's coming in. Naismith just makes those mistakes all the time. His rating's gone up from that. He's gone from 6.7 to 6.8. And all he did was head it to the centre forward. Something is grossly flawed in this game. As that ball in, Kiefer Moore heads it in. There you go. So that mistake gave the ball to Kiefer Moore for a one-on-one. It was saved for a corner. Kiefer Moore heads the corner in. And Naismith's average rating has gone up for the game. How on earth do you write that? We're staying positive. There's 5 minutes added on. I mean, this game we actually deserve to lose, so I can't complain too much. But it's another point thrown away late on. And I'm afraid the sacking's round the corner. I can sense it. We're going to have to go aggressive here. And it might be the change of tactic. It might. Well, in 90 seconds, Benarus managed to get himself injured for 3 weeks. He just wanted the Christmas holidays off. And now, against West Brom with defeat, we fall to 18th in the league. We are, 9 points clear of the relegation zone. We're 13 points off the top 6 and 7 off the top half. And look at our goal difference. It shows we've been in every game. We just cannot get the victories we need. Surridge is the second top scorer in the Division 2. I'm going to have a look at the schedule for a minute. It's going to be back. But based on the club vision, which somehow has gone back up to C+ now, we might be in a little bit of trouble by then. The plan is that we'll come back for deadline day in January because I plan for it to be a pretty big one. And then QPR or Ipswich, where are they? Ipswich are in 7th, QPR in 20th. So I guess depending on our results in the next month, we'll decide which one of those 2 games is most important. If the sacking or another El Sacico comes before then, we will be back, of course, to see it. But what do you think? Will I hold on in this job? Or is it going to go wrong very soon? Let me know. We've been in a precarious position all season. Am I going to be employed at the end of this year? If you want to stay up to date and find out, and you did enjoy this one, heartbreaking 2 games, then please do put a thumbs up on the video, subscribe and turn that notification bell on for daily FM23 content. We had a big transfer special yesterday, one not to miss in the Builder Nation save. We went big, I think it's fair to say that. We'll be back with this one in a couple of days' time, but before that, you can find our championship predictions for the real footballing world up in the eye above today. They come out at 4 o'clock, just half an hour after this one. There's also the Twitch channel, other playlist links, and anything else is in the description below. But thank you very much for watching. Your support is greatly appreciated. And I'll see you back here next time to find out again if we're still in a job on transfer deadline day.